The number of people getting facelifts has risen by 8% in the last year.
It follows people like 70-year-old Kris Jenner, whose own facelift got an overwhelmingly positive reaction online.
But now it's not just people in their 50s and over going under the knife. There's an increasing number of younger people opting for the surgery too, including trainee solicitor Jade Mandongwe, who was just 28 when she underwent a facelift in Turkey last month.
She joins us now alongside Harley Street plastic surgeon William Townley. Good morning to you.
Morning.
Both. Good morning.
Good morning. Great to be here.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
So, Jade, tell us, when did you first decide to opt for surgery and had you done anything else beforehand?
So I'd previously had fillers and Botox beforehand, and I started that process around 24. And when I was around 26, I decided I'm not really into fillers anymore just because they start to migrate. And the results, there's sort of roof that you can get to with fillers. They kind of stop doing what they need to do. So I decided to get a facelift, and I did a lot of research beforehand. This was in March, and I had several consultations with different surgeons, and it was the surgeon I went to for this procedure that recommended getting the mid-facelift, and he knew what I wanted for my results, so that was the most important thing.
I didn't meet you beforehand, obviously, but you're absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
What were you aiming to achieve? What were you trying to better?
It wasn't necessarily achieving a better result. It was about rejuvenation. I was beginning to look very tired. I'd gone through...
At 28.
Yeah. Life gets like that as a trainee solicitor. But I'd gone through weight loss journeys in the past, and I felt like my skin wasn't necessarily aging to a point where I needed a complete facelift. It was only a mid-facelift. But I did start to notice that actually I want to look more refreshed and rejuvenated and leave the house without having to wear loads of makeup. And that's been one of the best results as well for me, just looking refreshed and rejuvenated.
I think you've said that one of the reasons behind you wanting to opt for surgery is growing up in an age of Instagram.
Absolutely.
What is it about that has driven you to make these drastic changes to your look?
I think, my generation and slightly older, we've all grown up on filters, and that can sort of influence how you want to look, especially if you see yourself in real life. You're not going to look like a Snapchat filter, and I wasn't going for that aesthetic. But sometimes it does make you think, maybe I could get something slightly lifted, nothing too drastic. And I went for quite a conservative surgeon as well when I was getting it done, because I understand, obviously, with my profession, I didn't want to look too overdone, and that was one of the main concerns that I had. And that's why I took a lot of research and time before deciding who I went with.
But you went to Turkey to have it done.
Yeah.
We're seeing more and more people going to Turkey because I think it seems like a much more cost-effective way of doing it. There are compromises along the way, of course, but you did your research. Can I ask how much it all cost?
So for my procedures altogether, it came to around 10,000, including my teeth.
OK, and you had what done then?
It's very cheap.
Well, you had the mid-facelift done.
Yeah.
You had a brow lift.
I had a brow lift. Yeah.
You had your teeth done.
I had my teeth done,
Did you have anything else done?
And I had breast surgery done as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite a package.
It was quite a package, and that's why I was very persistent on looking on the right surgeon, because you can get people who are ENT specialists, and there may not be specialists for combined surgery that includes also your breasts as well. So that was really important for me, and also making sure the surgeon that I was going to was European, board certified and Turkish board certified.
William, hearing what Jade has been through, and clearly she's delighted with what's happened, which is the most important thing. How do you feel about the idea of 28-year-olds going for facelifts?
It's a great question. In my own practice, I feel that there are times when operating on someone in their 20s and doing things like facelifts are appropriate, but more for a reconstructive purpose. So in my line of work, I treat patients with facial palsy, where they might have a slightly saggy face on one side because it doesn't move as well as the other side. And doing a facelift in that situation is restorative, reconstructive. But generally in patients in their 20s without an underlying condition, it wouldn't be something that I recommend. I think that you're not treating aging at that stage, you're actually changing someone's appearance, how they look. And you have to tread carefully because surgery's permanent.
Would that be allowed in the UK, though? If somebody wanted to do that, or would you put somebody off doing that?
It's a very good question. And I think we're quite conservative in the UK. And
Yeah.
ultimately, it's up to the surgeons. They're the gatekeepers of these sort of procedures.
Right.
I think speaking sort of as a facelift expert, most people would not advise this surgery in the UK. I think our philosophy generally is to try and make significant changes to make people feel more confident and happier, but not to change their appearance, really, to keep them who they are.
Can I ask about the costs? Because as Jade pointed out, she had the facelift, the brow lift, the teeth, the breasts, all done for £10,000. I mean, that seems extraordinarily good value for money.
Agreed.
You can see why that would be attractive to a young professional who's training and has got a bit of disposable income, but not necessarily full-time as a solicitor. Would that be feasible over here in the UK?
Not at that price point, but Jade obviously did a lot of research and it's worked out really well for Jade, which is excellent. I think it's hard to put a price on that package, but if you're just looking at just, say, a mid-facelift, you might pay anywhere between £5,000 and £20,000 in the UK just for that.
Wow.
But if you want a full facelift, which is not what Jade had, but is a more extensive procedure, you're looking at anywhere from sort of £10,000 to £60,000. Okay. So quite a different price point.
And Jade, what was the whole experience like? Because that's an awful lot to put your body through in one go. Like, how long was your recovery? How was the actual operation?
So obviously, as we're speaking now, I am 6 weeks post-op. The actual operation itself, I mean, the clinic I went to, they were outstanding. I had a nurse and a doctor visit me twice a day for the 9 days that I stayed there for. And, you know, as William mentioned, surgeries in the UK, they sort of send you on your way home the next day or the day after. And for me, especially having so many procedures done, I wanted to be taken care of. I wanted it to be attentive. And, you know, it was a reputable place that I went to as well. I did a lot of research on not just the clinic, the surgeon itself, but also the clinic and the hospital that I was going to be getting the procedures done. So I was very, very, like, adamant on making sure the aftercare was good as well.
You've clearly done your research.
You're 6 weeks post-surgery.
Yeah.
Are you done now? Like, are you thinking, right, OK, look, I've got the face look I want, I've got the body shape I want, I've got the teeth that I want, I think I'm settled?
I think for me, I mean, as obviously as I age, it may change my face. I don't know. I'm still open to surgery. I don't feel like it's anything negative to get. If there's something that I'm not happy with or want to rejuvenate, then I absolutely will consider. But right now, I think I'm at a point where I'm done.
Yeah. For now.
Yeah, for now.
William, are there any risks to having these kind of surgeries so early?
Absolutely. But I would say that the risks are no different. The actual risks are no different from someone who's 25 and 55. I think the stakes are higher when you're younger because the potential complications last for you for longer. So the stakes are higher. The risks in general are sort of infection, bleeding, sort of general surgical risks. But probably the most important one is outcome, and by that I mean not getting the result you want.
When would you, if there is somebody watching the show today, and undoubtedly we'll have people that are looking at Jane thinking, goodness me, she looks incredible, but she probably looked incredible beforehand because she was only 26 and then 28 when she had it done. Is there an age that this seems to be more appropriate? You tend to have more clients coming.
Spot.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I think in general there's a downward trend in terms of age of people coming for a facelift.
Oh, they're coming in younger?
They are coming in younger. Lots of reasons for that. But in terms of the sweet spot, it's not defined by an actual number. It's more like a biological state. By that, I mean, it's when the sort of signs of aging materialise, and that could be the jowls or the heavy neck, and when that's married to someone's own particular goals and their ambitions, and when that sweet spot, in general, is about sort of 45 to 55 to 60, around then. But it's not an actual number.
Jade, what did your friends and family make of it?
Do you know what? Everyone's just been so positive about it. And obviously with my research that I've done, you know, I was able to get a result that I liked. I didn't just go off, you know, what a surgeon's Instagram looked like. I did look them up and I thought, people aren't happy with their results. And the surgeon I went to, he had 100% positive feedback, and I'm also part of that.
What do your parents say, though? Because you're the gorgeous little girl that they grew up loving and adoring, looking a certain way, and you have significantly changed your look.
It's not that significant compared to how I looked before, but it just looks rejuvenated. But my mum's been very supportive. She's really happy for me. She said I look amazing. And, yeah, she's been very positive. And friends have also been very positive as well. And again, that's because of going to the right place and getting it done correctly. And I think we'd be having a different conversation had I not done the research.
William, just before you go, because there are going to be people sitting at home that are going to go, wow, Jade looks amazing. Is there any advice that people should follow before embarking on something like this?
It's a really good question. I think you have to be very careful when following beauty trends, because beauty is in a state of flux. And what might be sort of a good look, a trend today, may not be tomorrow. But surgery is permanent and it's irreversible. And actually, for patients, for example, who are having nose jobs, I always say they might be having it at 25, but think this nose has to look good at 25, 35, 45, 55. So that would be my advice.
OK, well, thank you.
Thank you both for coming in and joining us.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.